start the procession. And I'm going to ask our graduates to come in. This is your moment. This is your day. Better than the Academy Awards. Better than the Globe Awards. This is it. You did it. You did it. Who needs an Oscar when you have these graduates in total recovery? Yes. Today is your day to shine. Today is your day. We celebrate all your efforts, all your hard work, all your determination. Oh! Oh my goodness, all of what you've done. Sorry. All right? Are you okay? Okay. Yes. This is your moment. Can we give them a round of applause one more time, please? This is the day that they have been waiting for, but this is also the day that the recovery court team has been waiting for as well. So we celebrate you today. The song that comes to my mind is, "It's the most wonderful time of the year." Yes, it is. So, I'd like to welcome everyone, and today we're here to celebrate, again, all your hard work, all your determination. It has ended in this moment, but the journey continues. At this time, I'm going to ask that the Rosa Parks Concert Choir come up and give us the Star Spangled Banner. It's been a long time, Mr. Chapman, but we welcome your students back. We're excited to see them. The Rosa Parks Concert Choir has become part of the Recovery Court family. They have been at least at the last 6 of our graduations, and we look forward to their voices. These are children of destiny. Who knows where they'll be in the years to come, but their roots and their beginnings are right here in Paterson, New Jersey.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the
Thank you. Before we move into the major part of our celebration, we do want to take time to remember those who were in the recovery court family that, for whatever reason, did not make it through. I'm just going to ask you to bow your heads as we remember these individuals. David Fields, Zachary Dagas, Richard Carter, Carmine Treza, Juan Hidalgo, William Estrada, and Diana Tomaszewski. Although they are gone, they are truly not forgotten. And may their spirits live on in our hearts. And may we remember that this journey in recovery is one day at a time. I'm going to ask the choir to come up again. They have a song. Oh, we have a soloist. Wonderful. In remembrance of our former recovery court participants. Thank you.
I am down and oh my soul so weary. When troubles come and my heart burden be, when I am still and wait here in the silence until you come and sit a while with me. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. Raise me up to more than I can be. You raise me up so I can stand on mountains. You raise me up to walk on stormy seas. I am strong when I am on your shoulders. You raise me up to more than I can be.
That was truly, truly beautiful. She says, you raised me up so I can walk on mountains. And you raised me up so I could walk on stormy seas. And that's exactly what our participants have done. They've had some mountains to climb, they had some seas they had to get through and weather, and they did. They're here. So again, we congratulate, we thank you for that beautiful rendition, and just please one more round of applause for our graduates. You had mountains, you had drug tests, you had random drug tests, you had court reporting, you had dress code, ties, shirts, you had it all. So you made it, you made it, you made it. At this time, I'm going to introduce a person who really needs no introduction. Sometimes he is called the fashion police. Does anybody know who I'm talking about? But mostly he is called the recovery court judge, the infamous, the honorable Miguel de la Carrera.
Thank you, Adrian. Infamous. I'll have to think about that. I'd like to welcome everyone here to the very first recovery court graduation ceremony. First one. It was known as drug court until January. We've had a lot of drug court graduations. May, by the way, is National Drug Court Month, and it's still called drug court in every other state, and it exists in every other state, but we're the first recovery court in the state, and I hope that idea is going to spread. The name changed in January, inspired by the recovery court judge there in Atlantic County, Mark Sanson, who participated in our ribbon cutting ceremony a few weeks ago. And as he put it, we call it recovery court now because we do recovery. We don't do drugs. And that's essentially what's involved. This is our first in-person ceremony in more than 2 years. We've had 4 graduations completely on Zoom, virtual ceremonies. Rosa Parks has stuck with us even through those, and we are very much in your debt in that regard. We have learned a little bit through the pandemic in terms of technology, and part of that results in this being our first hybrid graduation. We are both in person, but we're also being live streamed so that everyone else in recovery court can view, and people in other parts of the state. You never know who's watching. I'm surprised every so often when I hear from attorneys in other parts of the state that, oh, I watched your court the other day, I watched the ceremony. So there are other people watching. We have the press with us today, and I would like to acknowledge the presence of our recovery court team, or as Ms. Bird put it, and as various participants recently have started saying, the recovery court family. We have a team consisting of some 36 dedicated professionals who work very closely with our treatment partners, and I always never know about time considerations whether I should name everyone individually, but today I'm just going to do it. I beg your indulgence. We have 13 probation officers, and they are in alphabetical order. Brian Arana, Evan Hutchins, Erica Maldonado, Gloria Pierre-Lewis, Erica Rivero, Diana Rosario, Tahir Rouse, David Stoll, Kristen Emmanuel Wunk, Stephen Masonave, Sabine No, Christina Sanchez, and James Thorpe. We also have our probation supervisors, Ashley Jackson and Lydia de Blasio. Apart from them, we have our assistant prosecutor, Patrick Breen, our 2 public defenders, Liz Walsh and Jillian Elko, our task evaluators, 5 of them, Karen Douglas, been with us since forever, I believe, almost as long as Ms. Bird, and Sarah Pasquino, Eden Wintan, Ashley Jaramillo, and Carolyn Mudrevsky, and I never quite name. I don't know why. I work on names, as you know. I'll acknowledge there's my own chambers team, my law clerk, Sierra Santana, and Kim Carney, my secretary. We have other people who work behind the scenes, and so I don't overlook too good. Well, I'm forgetting, of course, our drug court coordinator, Adrian Bird, my team leader, the recovery court team leader, Matt Coppola. We have others that some of you interact with, Brianna Rosado, Miriam Roman, and Caitlin DeCastro. They do all kinds of administrative stuff, including preparing pre-sentence investigation reports and much, much more. If I left somebody out, forgive me. You know I'm forgetful. We have part of the team are the programs that we partner with, and that includes Eva's Village, includes Straight and Narrow, Options, Turning Point, Passaic Alliance, Pathways, and others. Those programs meet with us on a regular basis to work as part of the team in reviewing cases and deciding how to best provide resources in an effective way to everyone here. So that I don't, well, never mind. I'm gonna go on just a bit longer because some of you don't. They've heard it before, but we have our phase ones who are not present. By the way, the room looks rather sparsely populated because the college had some restrictions on the number of people who could be present. So between the 40 plus people in recovery court, graduates, and their invitees, we thought it might get too crowded. We realize now it's our transition back into doing things in person. We can adjust the numbers in a different way, but right now all of our phase ones are watching on Zoom as well as others. Just a little bit of history. The press and others don't are too familiar with recovery court. It started more than 30 years ago in Dade County, Florida, reached New Jersey in '99, and we were among the first counties, and it's now in every county here. It's now in every state and some territories of the United States. And the Recovery Court represents the first real large-scale criminal reform initiative. It supplements our system of adversarial trials. One side wins, one side loses, state versus the defendant, and there are cases that have to be resolved that way. But the vast majority of cases do not need to be resolved that way. And Recovery Court has been a very, very effective way of addressing the two causes, or the primary cause of criminality, which is addiction. It is the single largest cause of leading people to criminal activity. And it's something that was created because it works for everyone. It creates, it benefits everyone involved. A single adult in active addiction engages in dozens, if not hundreds, of thefts, burglaries, robberies, and drug dealing as a way to feed their addiction. The cost to society in so many ways, whether it's taxes, hospital, ER care, and the like, is enormous, and obviously victims. And addiction is also a major public health problem, both because addicts often obtain health care via charity services at hospital emergency rooms, but the death toll is enormous. For the last decade or so, we had more than 70,000 people a year dying of overdoses from opioids alone. That number reached, we had a brief dip in 2019 in New Jersey. We've actually done better overall than much of the country in that regard, but we still have over 3,000 people a year pass that way. But we hit 93,000 in the first year of the pandemic and over 100,000 last year. Who knows what this year's stats are going to be like? Those numbers are higher than the Vietnam War and Afghanistan and Iraq combined. The other big killer, of course, is alcohol, and people seem to overlook it. The first drug that was ever banned in this country back in the days of Prohibition. But we're now at a point where over 70,000 a year were dying from alcohol-related deaths, and it's now in the 100,000 range annually as well. Addiction remains the leading cause of death among 25 to 44-year-olds. Society also benefits, I said, taxpayers. Incarceration itself is expensive, and the criminal justice system is too. All of that is benefited by the work that's done here and in other recovery courts. Without further ado, I would like to introduce one of the leading champions of recovery court. He's our presiding judge in the criminal division. He's been to every graduation since he's been on the bench, and before then too. Our presiding judge in criminal, Sohail Mohammed. Judge Sohail Mohammed.
Thank you, Judge Miguel de la Carrera. And on behalf of our assignment judge, Judge Capicella, our trial court administrator, Robert Tracy, and the entire criminal division, to the graduates, first and foremost, congratulations on this day. And to the families of the graduates, and that includes not only the loved ones that they have, but the family that you have been accustomed to during your program. Those are probation officers who you worked with. As Judge Miguel de la Carrera was when he was introduced by Ms. Bird, the fashion police, some of our judges, we call him the grammar police, because he's there always to correct you, to be with you, but a good friend who I sat on several committees before I became a judge. And Judge Miguel de la Carrera's commitment, and those you all work with him, he's very open, he doesn't hide, right? But because he is committed to your recovery. So I say this to you. When you first thought about recovery court, you looked at others who could not do it. You took the challenge. It challenged you, and I'm sure it changed you, right? Challenged you, and you're changed. It changed you because you did the things that you thought you were not capable of doing. You thought this recovery, how am I going to do this for years? Now look at this. You are free from what you thought you could not achieve. So those are in your rear view mirror. Those are the memories. But what is ahead of you, what is today, what is ahead of you, is the life that you want to live. Those of you who were recovering did not have time for your kids. Now you have that time for the children. You couldn't attend the things that you wanted to attend because you were afraid to go. But you have achieved. The beautiful song that we heard today, you were climbing mountains, the burden that you carry. All of those things stand for today. So I don't want to take much of your time, but I want to say to you, I've never missed, Judge Miguel de la Carrera, right, never missed recovery court graduation since I've been on the bench. Even when I was on vacation, I came in and I sat. When we did this in person, all the dignitaries sat here, right? And the graduates were in the front row. Why it's important for me? Because even before I was in the criminal bench, I was in the family court. But your recovery is your re-entry. You're reclaiming what you left behind, and you're reclaiming. Nobody is giving it to you. You earned it, so be proud of it and celebrate every day moving forward.
Thank you, Judge Mohammed. And I am going to do a little bit more remembering of people I didn't mention. I didn't mention the help we get from the Sheriff's Department. And if you want to know dedication, Danny Laura, who's still a Sheriff's officer but hasn't been with Recovery Court for a couple of years now, is here today. Turk, of course, some of you know, especially them. A lot of our new folks, not having been in court, haven't met anyone except on Zoom. But their services are important in many, many ways. And something else that I wanted to touch on, which I didn't as well, with regard to our probation officers and our task evaluators. Great part of the reason why Recovery Court works and makes a difference and saves so many lives is the fact that we have a team that cares. I'm routinely astounded by things that Recovery Court participants mention by way of the ways in which their POs went above and beyond the call of duty to guide people, put in extra time, extra work, creative energy into supporting people. And they require special acknowledgement in my view, because they are that important to why this works. Yes, here. And I would like to acknowledge, of course, although they're not present with us today because other duties call, from the head of the Office of the Public Defender, Johnny Cardona, and our Chief Prosecutor, Camelia Valdez, for all the support they provide as well. And from probation, the head of probation, in particular, Dawn Moody. We're also supported by other people in probation and criminal division managers, including John Harrison, Stacy Caltagirone, and Mirna Villanueva. All right, that said, Lou Imhoff, the clerk to the, used to be called the Freeholder Board, the county commissioners. Where is it? Oh, you're down there. I lost sight of you. Is here with a proclamation and some presentations for all of our graduates.
Thank you, Judge. First of all, thank you for having me here. And graduates, thank you. I stand in awe of you. Before I was clerk of the board, I was the director of addiction services for the county of Passaic from 2001 to 2007 before I became clerk of the board. I stand in awe of what you have accomplished. It is a great feat. And every day you get up, it is another challenge, and you're up for it, and you're ready for that challenge. And I wish you Godspeed with all that. So congratulations. I really wish you the very best. I'm here on behalf of my bosses, the county commissioners of the county of Passaic, and they felt that it was fitting that I read a proclamation in honor of Recovery Court and your graduation. Also, Adrian will be giving you certificates from the county commissioners for each of you to receive because of your great accomplishment that is being recognized today. So let me read and she'll hand those certificates out to you later. Whereas treatment courts have been restoring lives and families for more than 3 decades, whereas now nearly 4,000 treatment courts nationwide, whereas treatment courts are cornerstones of the justice reform sweeping the nation, whereas treatment courts have served more than 1.5 million individuals, whereas they are now recognized as the most successful justice systems, intervention system in our nation's history, whereas they save an average of $6,000 for every individual they serve. These 3 whereas really struck me as I want to really stress these 3 whereas. Whereas treatment courts significantly improve substance use disorder treatment outcomes, substantially reduce addiction and related crime. Whereas treatment courts improve education, employment, housing, financial stability, promote family reunification, reduce foster care replacement, increase the rate of addicted mother delivery babies who are fully drug-free. Whereas treatment courts facilitate community-wide partnerships, bringing together local recovery community and human service agencies and treatment providers. Whereas the New Jersey has renamed the New Jersey Drug Courts the New Jersey Statewide Recovery Court. Whereas the New Jersey Statewide Recovery Court recognizes language can be used to combat stigma and discrimination and garner support for an often marginalized population. Whereas the goal of New Jersey Statewide Recovery Court is namely recovery. Therefore, it be resolved that the Board of County Commissioners of the County of Passaic declares the Passaic County Drug Court will now be known as Passaic Recovery Court, and Recovery Court Month will be established during the month of May. This proclamation is signed by Director Bruce James, Deputy Director Cassandra Sandy Lazara, and County Commissioners Bartlett, Best, Duffy, Gallo, and Lepore, and it is attested by me. This proclamation was passed by the County Commissioners at their meeting on Tuesday, and it is in the official record. I wish you the very, very best. Adrian has my number on speed dial. If there's anything that the services of the county can help in reference to any type of assistance, we are just one phone call away, and we are ready and willing to assist you in the next chapter of your life. Thank you, and thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you very much, Lou. We are going to have another presentation by the Rosa Parks High School Choir. And anyone who has a chance, if you're going to get autographs, do it soon, because next time you see some of these people will be on Broadway or television. They are remarkable. I'm still hoping, Mr. Chapman, that we're going to find a way to take them on the road someday. You're on the road today. Nationally, they're that good.
When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light you'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. If the sky we look upon, just humble and fall. For the mountains to crumble to I won't cry, I won't cry, I won't cry, I won't cry, I won't shed a tear. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Oh, stand by me.
I feel this song probably needs a little bit of an introduction. It's from the Broadway show Wicked. Anybody familiar with that show? Great show. So this song is called For Good, and it's basically the good witch and the bad witch who turned into another good witch, and how they helped each other. And I thought this would be really appropriate for all you guys and girls, and how you all work together, and it's about how we change each other's lives. So this is Natalia, and this is Jazz Lee, and we're going to get a second microphone because it's two soloists.
I'm limited. Just look at me. I'm limited. And just look at you. You can do all I couldn't do, Linda. So now it's up to you. Now it's up to you. I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through a wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. It will maybe that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you, you'll be with me, like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a ship blown from its mooring by a wind off the sea, like a seed dropped by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? But because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed for good. And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I've done you blame me for. I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore. By a wind of the sea, like a seed dropped by a bird in the wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? I do believe I have been changed for the better. Because I knew you. Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for good.
Bird? Wow. You're going to have to pay good money to hear that eventually. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Yes? Okay. John, we thank you profoundly. And, for anyone who doesn't know it, the singer and actress who starred in the new version of West Side Story, the film, was from Clifton. Not much older than these students. First did the role of Maria in high school, which is what got her noticed. I'm serious. You have major talent here. And, appreciate them when you can. John, Mr. John Chapman, who I don't think I even mentioned you by name. Thank you so much for your contributions.
I just want to let you guys know, we are available for any events, weddings, bar mitzvahs, christenings, whatever you need, just call us. We'll be there. Thank you all.
Okay.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you to the whole choir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, John, and thank you, choir. You ladies and gentlemen are amazing.
Adrian, I left my secret about the power. All right. We have a guest speaker today, and she is the program and training coordinator at Mainstream Recovery. She's done a whole lot more, but I left nonetheless. She's doing a lot of work with peer recovery coaches, and she's going to share her thoughts with you now. Ms. Sheila Powell. Thank you.
Hi. Hello. I'm going to time myself because I have ADHD and I will go on forever. So let me set a timer. Where's this bird? Like 10 minutes? All right. 10 minutes? It won't be 10 minutes. All right. So thank you so much for having me. Oh my God. that performance, I wish the kids were still here. Like, if I could describe recovery in one word, well, in a phrase, change for good is like the perfect, like that just hit me like a ton of bricks. Like that is the perfect definition of recovery. Change, positive, meaningful change, you know, whatever that means to you in your life. For me, my name is Sheila. I'm a person in recovery. And what that means to me is that I've been on this beautiful, magical journey of recovery and wellness since 2015. So I recently celebrated 6 years in recovery, and I stand here before you today as a person in recovery from substance use disorder, from mental health, from codependency, from eating disorders, from so many things. It's rarely just about the substance. It's rarely just about the drug or the drink. It's more about, you know, the trauma that we've been through, you know, the experiences that we've had, the privilege that I've had, the lack of privilege that I've had. All of these things tie very closely into substance use disorder. So Miss Bird asked me, you know, what I wanted to speak about, and I can speak about anything, to be honest. But she said, what about the beauty of recovery? And I was like, I love that. I love that, because recovery is beautiful. But I said, can I just say the magic of recovery? I'm a person, I say magic a lot, because when I think of beauty, I think of more like a visual thing, like a flower is beautiful, but magic like comes from within. There's more to magic, you know. There's like reactions. There's things that are going on. Things are mixing and things are happening and you don't really understand it. But that, to me, that's what recovery is. That's what recovery is. It's magical. It's magical. I am as the judge said, I'm the program coordinator for mainstream recovery for Passaic County. And what we do is the whole point of the program is to beef up the recovery support in Passaic County. Now, let me explain what recovery support is. In the beginning of my recovery journey back in like 2015, 2016, all I knew about recovery was addiction, was overdoses, was DUIs. And then I knew about like treatment, you know, like I saw movies, you know, I saw 28 Days, I saw Flight, you know, I saw all these movies, right? You go to a treatment center, you get better, like sometimes you become religious, whatever. And then, you know, you go to church basements for the rest of your life. That was my perception of recovery. It's not like that at all, at all. Recovery is beautiful. Recovery is thriving. And I am wholeheartedly dedicated to recovery support. What that means is, after a person leaves treatment, what happens? You know, now there's some discharge planners, right? There's some, you know, sometimes there's like an alumni organization. There's a follow-up. There's a voluntary outpatient program you can go to. But what happens? What happens when someone needs their ID? What happens when someone needs a birth certificate? What happens when someone needs a job, a place to live, medical insurance? You know, what happens if they have felonies on their record and they can't get a job? What if they don't have their social security card and all the offices are closed because it's COVID, you know? This is where a recovery coach steps in. Say if a person has a job interview for the first time in 25 years and they don't even know how to interview for a job, that's where a recovery coach comes in. Actually, today, I'm meeting with one of the people I coach because she has an interview. She has an interview to be a recovery coach for somewhere in Patterson. So I was just like, this is amazing. Like, this is amazing. I'm going to help someone get a job, you know, in a field that they're passionate about. That is the magic of recovery. So, oh my God, that was 10 minutes already. That was 10 minutes already? Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. So, it's fine. It's cool. Everything's fine. So, Matt, so no, I can wrap it up. I'm good. So to me, what my recovery is magical because for a few reasons, and I'll just talk about today for me. I drove here in a car. That car is insured. That car is registered. That car is from 2021. That car does not have a breathalyzer in it because for many, many years, I had to have breathalyzer in my car. That license in my wallet, the fact that I have one, that's magic. That's magical because I didn't have a license for a long time. I have no warrants. I have no fines. I just paid off my fines from all my DUIs. Just paid off my fines. 6 years in recovery. I haven't paid off my student loans yet, but I just paid off my surcharges. My license, I have no warrants. And if I did, guess what? I would take care of it. That's the magic of recovery. You know, say I forget to pay a parking ticket, I have a warrant out, whatever. I could take care of it. That's the magic of recovery. When I go home and I sign on to the computer, I have like 4 jobs in this space, and I have so many things to do, and I'm so excited about each one of them, and that's the magic of recovery. I get to pick up my kid today from school. I just got custody back of my kid 6 years later. Just got custody back, full custody. And I'm picking my kid up from school, you know, picking my kid up. Small, like magic does not have to be this big, huge, monumental thing. Magic is like, this is magic in the moment. Those kids singing, that's magic in the moment right there. You know, especially this week, considering what happened in a school in another state. You know, these kids are up here singing. They're like 16. I can't do that now. They're doing it when they're 16. That's magic, you know. You know, my dog, I have my dog. My dog's alive. And I love my dog. That's magic. I take care of my dog. My dog's up to date on their shots. That's magic. And that's recovery. That's recovery to me today. That's recovery. Later on, I'm taking my kid to karate because next weekend we are going to a tournament. And my kid just won 2 bronze medals in the last tournament. And they won a gold in the tournament before that. That's magic of recovery. I was able to afford plane tickets because we're going next month to the Nationals, Karate Nationals in Washington State. I can't even point out Washington State on a map, but we're going there next month. That's the magic of recovery. You know, all of these things are the magic of recovery. And I'm going to close with this, is that I don't even have to talk about the magic of recovery because, like, legit, this is it right here. Like, this is it in the moment. You know, you all have made these changes for good. You all decided you wanted to do something and you did it. And that's the magic of recovery. And if you don't like the word recovery, that's fine. Use wellness. It's the same thing. You know, say wellness. Like, you all have the power to create magic in your own life, magic in your own wellness, magic in your own recovery. And I believe you can do it. I really do. You came this far, you know, who knows what can happen, you know, in the next few years. Maybe next year, some of you will be standing up here, you know, talking about recovery and wellness and everything. So thank you so much for inviting me. I love working in this space. I love working with Passaic County. You all are awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Pell. Sheila reminded me of somebody who gave a Phase 4 speech yesterday, describing how ecstatic he is to have gotten a driver's license last week. It was like the elusive holy grail for him. He really thought he'd never get it. Got into recovery, and he's walking on air now. All right, we are at the point where we are going to give graduation certificates to each of our graduates who are present. There are 41, I believe, in this, we'll call it the graduating class. 13 of them actually graduated in court between the last graduation in November and now. So not all 41 are here. And there was one who was slated to be here until yesterday, but because he's getting a promotion at his job to a supervisory position, it was mandatory that he be there today. It was graduation or promotion. We let him go for the promotion. He'll do the graduation ceremony in court sometime soon. Of the people who are here, or of the 41 graduates, 5 of them I'm going to call our COVID graduates. The rest are people who had started pre-COVID, for whom it took a while for that magic to kick in. Some struggle, some VOPs, some sanctions along the way, but they're all here. They've all made it to the finish line, or the commencement line, which is what graduation is really called in schools, because you're beginning the rest of your lives. But 5 of them, one of them was sentenced about 2 weeks before the courts closed and everything else because of COVID, and 4 since that time. And obviously, that means they've done this in about 2 years, which is the bare minimum. It means they've done it without any major hiccups. But it doesn't matter whether there were hiccups along the way. That's unfortunately often the case. What matters is where all of you are now. You're all graduating. And you deserve recognition and congratulations. So, Ms. Bird, if you would, are you still with us? Oh, here you are. Okay. We are going to give awards to each of you.
Thank you, Judge. I'm just going to ask the judge to stand over there so you can actually, shake their hands and do everything that we do. Just let me get our certificate and the Passaic County Commissioner certificate. It was brought to my attention at another ceremony I went to a couple of weeks ago. I've been at many ceremonies where they read proclamations, and it never really dawned on me that this becomes a part of the history of the county or wherever they're doing so. You have made history in the county of Passaic, so be very, very proud of that. And that goes for Recovery Court too. Okay, I'm going to ask Officer Arana to come up. And our first graduate is Micaiah Reed. One from the county and then one, of course, from Recovery Court. Both being equally as
I just want to say thank you to my PO and my support system and the judge. She was tough on me. I'm a little nervous, but I just want to say thank you.
Thank you. Watch your step. Thank you, Micaiah.
You have to ad lib all the time. Mr. Reed just reminded me that sometimes people have said to me that I'm a little bit of a father figure for them because I'm the one who gives them the tough love, parental type discipline. By the way, I did that. I've done that in real life beyond Recovery Court. I have a son that I'm going to be giving a 10-year coin to in September. Anyway, but a few weeks ago, somebody referred to me as grandfather figure for them. Then I realized I've been here maybe too long, but anywho.
We're not going to talk about age and how long we've been here, Jeff. No, we're not. But it's been a joy every day. Next, we have Rigoberto Ocasio. Congratulations.
First I want to say thanks to God, my wife, Arena, Your Honor. I had a couple bumps through all this, a lot of bumps through all this, but I'm here. It's over. Thank y'all.
The next person we have is Officer Hutchins or Isaac Pineda. Isaac,
So I was supposed to get the maximum when I first started here. It was hard, and I'm gonna lie, 2 days in the program, I got a section. So I don't know, it was 2 days, just 2 days in, and so I just want to say it's been hard, but we're all here, and I appreciate the opportunity you give me for a new life that I'm about to start. There's a lot of bumps. I lost a lot of jobs because of my records and stuff. But one thing that I did do, I'll tell you, is that I overcome. I overcome every obstacle that I had. I created my own company, a trucking company. Got my own truck. So people that say that they cannot do it, I did it, and if I did it, y'all can do it.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer Hutchins. Next, I'm going to call Officer Masonave. And we will have Junior Santana. Congratulations to you.
Woof. I was supposed to do this last year. Ended up dropping a positive urine on the same week I was supposed to graduate. Bozo move. Mason Navi let me know too. But one thing he did do was, I appreciate that man right there. That man right there. He helped me out the whole situation. Bro, he guided me. He was talking to me. He was like, man, you got to get on your grind, man. He made sure I wasn't, off the road. He was like, he checked me every time. Hey, what you doing? What you doing? What you doing? I appreciate him for that. But thank you. Also, the judge, you made for this, man. This is, God put you here for this. For real. He's a good man, too. Thank you. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. You were made for this, Judge. I love it. The next person we have is Victor Malesio.
I didn't write much of a speech, but I would just like to say thank you, Judge, Drug Court team, and Mason Nabi for supporting me throughout this whole journey. And I'm ready for the next chapter of my life. And all thanks to you guys. Thank you.
The next person we have is David Serpek. Oh, is it? No. I'm sorry. Oh, Mason, yes. I'm sorry, Mason. That was your last person? No, that was it. Okay.
By the way, Mason Osborne also doubles as captain of the Recovery Court softball team. We played against Union County softball team, and we're hoping for games against them in Morris County soon.
I'm sorry, Officer Maldonado. Yes, David Serpak.
Sarapak, as I recall, is hoping to take the LSATs and go to law school someday. He's dressed like a lawyer today, right?
Congratulations to all the graduates. 3.5 years ago, I was probably an unhealthy 170 pounds. And today I stand before you, a little too healthy. But all jokes aside, when I was that unhealthy 170 pounds, I didn't want to live. And it was a very hard time. Today I very much want to live. I have the support of my family. My father was supposed to be here today, but he's enjoying retirement way too much, and he deserves every minute of it for what I put him through. But I will see him later. Today I just finished my last semester here. I'll be at NJIT next semester. In 2 years, I'll be a software engineer. Thank you. I have I'm starting a family. I've done things in the last 3 years that I never thought I would do. In programming, you have something called a loop. And if you make a mistake, if you make a syntactical error, the computer gets stuck in an infinite loop. And sometimes the only way to solve it is by crashing the program or pulling the plug. You know, and whether you believe in the disease model of addiction or not, you know, that was me 3.5 years ago. I was stuck in that infinite loop. And if it wasn't for Ms. Maldonado, who's been great, Judge Della Carrera, and you guys sitting here in a program like this, I wouldn't have hope. I wouldn't be graduating in 2 years. I'd be in prison. You know, so for me, you guys, what you guys do was really important in my life. You know, and anybody, you know, sitting here, or anybody that needs to hear it at home, you know, it does get easier, it does get better, and, you know, I'll pray for you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Sarah Beck, did I remember wrong about the LSAT? Maybe that was somebody else. Oh. All right, well, let me add a footnote then about Judge Mohammed. Judge Mohammed is an engineer, went to NJIT, and he got interested in the law by having served as a juror in a trial. And he was then mentored by Judge Passero, former assignment judge, and who knows, maybe he'll be your mentor in this process. There, I'm sure he'd like that.
Next, we call Officer No. Did Joseph Zonka make it? Oh, great. We'll call Joseph Zonka.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, this is pretty surreal. For a decade, I've been entangled with the law. Yeah, coming into drug court, I did a pretty long stint in Passaic County Jail. I want to be honest, I hated you. I hated you. But nah, as part of my resentments, I had to learn about you too. You know, and honestly, like I stand here today, I respect you, and I believe that you care. And I believe everything that you're doing is for our benefit. And so I stand here today. Life is good. I have a fiance, a car that's insured, that works. 2 months ago, I just started my own landscaping company. It's called Iconic Landscaping LLC. Did it legit. You know, I got it. And yeah, I just opened up my first bank account in 20 years. But it's it's amazing what you can gain when you're clean and sober. You know, it adds up quick. So I just want to thank everybody, and yeah. Thank you.
Yes, one from us. Next, we have Rafael Mora Reynoso.
I just want to thank the whole recovery team, operational officer, Ms. No, and Della Carrera.
Next, we have Larico Baisley. I'm telling you.
3 long years, I'm finally here.
I know.
Just want to thank the whole recovery team for helping me make it through this. Probation officer, Ms. No, you, Ms. Bird, and Josh. That's it.
Congratulations. Ms. No has a message from Adrian Schaefer.
Hi, everyone. Adrian Schaefer was supposed to graduate today. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it. but he worked so very, very hard, and I was very, very proud of Adrian. When he first came in, he was very young, still doing all the things that young people do. He pulled it together. He was able to go through the stages. He had bumps in the road, but he never gave up. He kept striving, and he really, really wanted to. So Ms. Berg sent the graduates 3 questions this past 2 weeks, and Adrian wanted me to read on his behalf the answers to his questions. So the first one was 3 things that I accomplished during recovery court. Adrian said that he strengthened the bonds with his family and everyone around him. During recovery, everyone was very proud of the person I was becoming now that I was no longer a victim to addiction. I want to be able to reconnect with all my friends and family on a different level. Number 2 is I was able to get a job and stick with it. Number 3, staying sober and becoming the best version of myself. Recovery court changed my life because without it, I don't know where I would be. It made me change the whole way of my thinking, and the things I used to do every day became things that I no longer wanted to do. Recovery court helped me learn from my past mistakes, and everything I learned during recovery court are things that I will take with me on my new journey to ensure that I stay on the right path.
I'm sure Adrian is watching, so congratulations, Adrian. I'm going to give you his certificate, Miss Snow, and this is his award.
We need memory pills, but I just remembered that I omitted 2 of our key players on the recovery court team, Sharonda and Ajay. My apologies, and I thank you for your tireless work, and I know that you work very, very hard.
Yes, those ladies are very important because they do a lot of the data that we will need to make sure that you're off of probation. So yes, we say thank you to those ladies every day. Every day. Okay, the next person is Officer Pierre Lewis. And we will be calling Jennifer Pacifico.
Only known as Pacifico to Officer Pierre Lewis.
I climbed off mountains. Woo!
Girl, that was you. Woo. Excuse me. Very emotional. Woo. It's been a long time. My second time on drug court. I had it in Bergen County, 2010. I got terminated within maybe the first 2 months. Was sent down to prison for 3 years. Got in more trouble. Got sentenced to drug court again. I remember being sentenced in front of you, Judge Carrera, and you said to me, Pacifico, it's going to be very hard. It was. Hurry. They want to do this. Oh, I had a lot of bumps in the road, had a lot of sanctions, still doing bad behavior. Someone put methazine or codeine for over a year. Drug court found out. Went to county jail for 5 months, and I was on my way back to Clayton. I was. My oldest daughter wrote a letter to the judge, which I believe saved my life. By the skin of my teeth, I believe she's the one who saved me. And I thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to stand here today because I friggin' deserve it. I really do. Thank you to everyone for believing in me. Pierre Lewis, you are the best. You've been there to greatest support. The dopest PO I ever had. And I've had plenty in my life. But you definitely were the dopest. That's it. Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Officer Pierre Lewis, I don't know. Fashion police and the dopest. All right. We're going to have to get you a badge, a different badge. Okay, next we have Mark Esau. Yes, best dressed. Oh, we have two.
Hands down, best dressed award.
Thank you. Spear Lewis, thank you. Couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Mr. Judge Della Guerrero. Without the second opportunity, this wouldn't be possible. Ms. Bird, staff. When I first got in, they told me about drug court. They said it was a setup. I was like, yeah, it's a setup. But when I really looked into it, it really is a setup for success. It's up to you. You got to really want this. If you don't want it, it's not going to happen. You get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you realize there's more out there to life. Thank you. Oh, one more thing. Oh, I give it to my brother right here. I denounce my crown. I give it to the brother right here. But we all look good. Don't we look good? We clean up nice, don't we? Okay.
Absolutely. Okay, Officer Pierre Lewis, James Chinichi.
He had a terrible accident days ago. We weren't sure he'd make it today. But here he is. Congratulations.
All right. Just want to say I'm grateful to be here. I almost died last week on my motorcycle. So God didn't let me go last week, so I could make it here today. I changed my life in so many ways. Mother out here, she used to call cops on me all the time. My girl couldn't be here, so I want to thank her for keeping me in the right path. Miss Lewis for giving me all the guidance I needed. I'm just so happy to be here and doing the things that I'm doing. I never thought I could see this day. I just want to thank everyone. Thank you.
To all the parents who never give up, Mom, thank you. I get calls all the time from parents and siblings and nephews, and I tell them all the time, don't ever give up. Next, we have Officer Rivero. And we're going to call Bobby Carter.
Thank you, Ms. Bird. Obviously, I want to give recognition and appreciation to my probation officer, the judge, Ms. Bird, the drug court team. Short, sweet, and to the point. One of the hardest things is my ego. I don't like to let go of it. I don't like to let people, I guess, cross the boundary and threaten it in a way. And my ego is always what got me in trouble because I know best, right? Because knowing best got me here. One of the smartest decisions I ever made was pushing myself out of the way and allowing the opportunities and the blessings and the doors to open, no matter how many times they shut, no matter how many times I got emotional or upset or I hated my counselors or I wanted things the way I wanted them and I wanted them now. And, I had to learn a lot of things along this way that, there's plenty of blessings in life, but you gotta shut your mouth and open your eyes. You gotta hear, you gotta listen. I got an open communication line in a way with my older two kids now. I have full custody of my youngest, which, thank you. The judge in Ocean County who terminated my parental rights to my oldest is the one who granted my parental rights to my youngest. So When she granted my rights back, she came down off the stand, gave me a very big hug, held my hands, and said, Miss Carter, I always knew you could do it. You just had to be pushed a little bit. Because my youngest, I guess you can say in a way, even though I didn't know it at the time, was a wake-up call, because I was always one of those females, oh, I'll never be pregnant in jail. Never say never, because I was pregnant in jail and I gave birth in jail. My youngest, was born at Jersey Shore Medical, and one of the moments that should have been a happy moment in my life was, yes, happy, but it was also bittersweet, because none of my family could see her. None of my family could come see me. I was in this hospital room with 2 guards shackled to a bed. And I replay that moment in my head a lot, because it keeps it green for me. It keeps it recognizable that even though I'm standing here and accomplishing one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life, by the grace of God, there goes I every day down the street. And I have to remember to keep it green. Not glorify, just keep it green, because I don't ever want to end up out there again. I don't ever want to be in the position that I was in again. And the only person that can stop that from happening is me. And I keep thinking in my head, I was always one of those people who could never accomplish anything, who could never finish a sentence, finish a meal, finish getting dressed properly in the morning, and I am standing in the same spot that I watched 4 years ago from up there, graduating recovery court. And it's still just so mind-blowing to me. Like, my fiance is over there recording me. He's been one of my major, major supports throughout all this. My father and my stepmother are watching from all the way in Ocean County, along with everybody at their job. So, to close it up, it's just, I have many blessings today. And even though life kept kicking me and testing me, because during COVID, a lot of stuff hit the fan. And many, many, many times I thought to myself, why am I even bothering? Because nothing I need to happen is happening. No, it's just what I needed to happen wasn't happening when I wanted it to happen. I had to wait for the process to work. I had to wait for, the right doors to open and the right people to call me. And eventually they did. I'm just not very patient. I'm still working on that. But I am thankful that, I'm able to sit down and play the tape out and not entertain the thought of, going back out there and getting high and running and looking over my shoulder to see if the cops are coming. You know what I mean? And it's great not to hear the slamming of a cell door or the shake of the keys when the guards are doing their rounds every 15 minutes. And, it's nice not to have to hop, skip, and jump in the shower real quick because you got 2 minutes of hot water, and it's just an absolute blessing. And it's a miracle. And I love it. Every single day. I wouldn't change a damn day in my life where I am. So if I can do it, anybody. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Stefan Harris. Stefan.
Appreciate y'all for being here, spending y'all time, because y'all don't really got to do it, but, it's part of your job. Really got to, but, I had a little struggle doing this. I don't like being told what to do too much. I ain't really too good at that. So being up here on drug court is rough, because they be like down your back a lot. I like my room, you know what I mean? So I appreciate it, Ms. Rivera, she's a very sweet lady. She never really did me wrong. I'm not a person that be all into things, so y'all probably never seen me before. So I got a few sanctions here and I did.
IOP a few times. You know, quick story though, right? So boom, look. I remember I was watching my son at home, and I had to be the court, afternoon court, whatever. So my son mother went to go get a hair done. So for the women that's in the crowd, on stage, y'all know how it is when you go get your hair done. Process is hours. So she ain't come back in time. So I'm like, what am I gonna do? I gotta go to court. I can't. I gotta take him to court with me. All right, cool. I told Rouse, shout out to Rouse. Yo, look, tell the judge I'm out here. I'm in the, you know how we call my name. I'll come in. So he said, cool. I'll do it. I got you. I said, look, I told him. I'm sitting in the hallway. 10 minutes later, I see everybody coming out in the hallway. The judge, he bugging, he done went back in the quarters, and I'm like, man, what's happening? It's gonna be a long day. I know what happened. Somebody done paid him off. He ready to turn up. So everybody go back in now. So I was come back. He said, well, you ready for come get you? You ready? So okay, all right. There's a PO that came out to watch my son or whatever. So I went up there, daily, all right. So he said, well, you think I won't lock you up because you got your son with you? I said, whoa, what's going on? He said, you better dirty urine. Think that you put your son that's supposed to squeeze you for this. I said, I ain't know nothing about this. I ain't know that, But kind of messed me up. It kind of made me think, like, if I have to go through that, put my son in harm's way, whatever. And like, he ain't really, again, like I'm not a person that gets in trouble, so my face not really seen, but he hadn't really never met me yet. So, going off previous things with other people does stuff like that before, or whatever the case may be. So, even said like, he'll call diapers if you have to call, if you come to get locked up. And I'm just like, wow, like, I never want that for my kid, so that made me shape up. So, from that day on, I promised myself I'm gonna graduate so I can look him in his face and say, I'll never, ever let nobody take my kid away from me. Not saying that in the, I meant that from the heart because that really touched me. That made me feel some type of way. So that was my push to be here right now, to be on this stage. That's the only reason I'm here, It pushed me to be here, so that's all, I appreciate y'all. Mrs. Rivera, thank you. Ms. Bird, appreciate you so much.
Thank you, Stefan. Whatever it takes to cross the finish line. Officer Rosario? She's not here. Okay, wonderful. Oh, that's right. Officer Rosario definitely wanted to say to all of her participants that she was sorry she couldn't be here, but she is so happy and proud for each and every one of you. The first one we're going to call is Ephraim Langston.
I just want to say thank you to my officer, Rosario Arana, for being there, giving me a push in the shoulder, having an ear that I could talk to. Rouse also always was there, giving me the push, giving me advice. I appreciate you guys. Judge, I appreciate you giving me a second chance. Change. Hey, man, drug court work if you wanted to work, man. You tired of going to jail all the time? Want to change your life? Man, drug court work. It definitely changed me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Next, we have Jihad King.
Okay, tied for best dressed.
The shine is on. It is on.
It's been a long 2 years. My story is one of success and redemption. I was born in housing projects. Was born as a crack baby. Sold drugs
to do drugs, to support my habit. 2 years ago, I was caught with 500 bags of heroin, and my life just went down from there. Today, I come to you and I stand to you as a man saying that I have my son under my custody. He's been living with me for 2 years. I have my own LLC, which is called King's Generational Contracting. I have my own contracting business. And most of us, what nobody really tells you is most of us, or a lot of us, will be getting our record expunged after today. So recovery court definitely works. It's definitely worth it, but you have to put in the work. If you don't put in the work, you get what you put out. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Ms. Rosario. Thank you for everybody watching. Thank you, Ms. Bird. I just thank y'all so much because y'all gave me a second chance at life. Tattoos on my face and all. I am a person who has changed and who has become a better man because of this. So my testimony is recovery court definitely works. Thank you.
Okay, the next person. Oh, okay. Next, we'll call Officer Rouse. I'm sorry. Oh, none of your participants are here. Oh, yes, that's right. You're absolutely right. Thank you, Officer Rouse. That's why you need everybody. The next person is Officer Sanchez. And we will be calling Kareem Hodges. Kareem, is it your family that came from Alabama, right? His family drove all the way from Alabama to be here. Kudos to them. What's the gas prices in Alabama? I'm just kidding.
How everybody doing? I started drug court in September 2018. I had no direction. I didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. I was on the phone with my then fiance, and she's like, "Kareem, I need you to do better. I can't not marry a criminal. You cannot help your family if you're a criminal with a record. Try to get drug court, fix your life, get your record expunged. See what you can do. I need you to be a better father, a better provider for this family if you're gonna make it work. I did everything that I'm here standing here today for my family and for that woman right there. I would not be nothing. I won't be nothing but probably on the run from you, Judge. You know, trying to drink and drug and get away and try to do things I had no business. But this woman right here kept me grounded. I have a support system. My Stephen Howe, my sponsor, kept me grounded. I'm here today saying that it's possible, guys. All of y'all witness to it. Drug court works. It worked for me, and I'm just glad that this is the beginning of me starting my new life. And thank you very much. Thank you very much, Judge. Thank you very much, Ms. Sanchez and Ms. Bird, the most charismatic person I ever met. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kareem. And thank you for that long drive. Woo! Okay, Ms. Sanchez, do you have anyone else? Everyone else, all of her other participants graduated in court, but we send them kudos as well. They're probably watching, most of them. The next person I'm going to call then would be Officer Stoll. He's not here? Okay. Then we are going to call Mr. Blasio. Come up. Okay, next person is Theodore Tejada.
I want to thank the judge for giving me a chance, and Ms. Bird for the Motivation Mondays. Got a lot of it, and all the probation officers, and Joker. Joker does work. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, they got a little scramble. I'm gonna give it to them. Don't worry. You are a graduate, though. The next person is Kyle Huffin. Huffine. Sorry, Huffine.
Didn't expect to have a chance to say anything, but I am very grateful to have this chance to say thanks first to God, to my PO, I know Mr. Stoll's watching, to the judge. Very grateful that I'll be able to make it past my past and step into my future. Thank you.
Okay, the next person we're going to have officer-wise is Officer Thorpe. Officer Thorpe, here he comes. Well, they say, come on down. And we're going to call Aaron Dorn.
Thank you. Just want to say thank you to the drug court team, my officer Thorpe, of course, Judge Della Carrera. Apologize. My first graduation I went to, my officer fell and he got back up, and that's what I did a lot of times. I fell and I got back up. So, you know, that's all I want to say. Thank you to everyone. I appreciate it.
Officer Thorpe, that's it, right? Oh, who's your other person who's here? Okay, I just put his here. Michael Giansante.
I just want to say thank you to the drug court team, Thorpe, Your Honor, Miss Bird. I feel like I really have a second chance at life, and I'm very grateful for that. Thank you.
Yes, congratulations. Okay, the next officer we have is Officer Wong. And the first person is Roy Samuels.
I had to talk Roy off a ledge at the last recovery court walk. He's planning to move out of state. He was ready to go, ditch graduation and everything. And since he didn't wear a tie, maybe I should let him wait. No. Here you go. Congratulations.
Thank you. Here to thank everybody who came to see us today. Judge for giving me the little thin line that I walked on. Miss Wamp for keeping me balanced. Bird and everybody else again. Thank you.
Thank you. Roy, here you go. Mm-hmm. Next, we have Antoinette Holmes.
I'm nervous. This bird asked me earlier this morning, was I nervous? Did I sleep last night? Absolutely not. I have not slept. I just want to say thank you to Passaic County. I was a transfer from a different county, and my first county didn't go so well. Yeah, it was a little rough. But this team in Passaic County has been so supportive. My officer, every milestone that I met in this journey, she has been nothing but supportive, encouraging, little texts, phone calls, always just pushing me to do better and be better and move on. As everyone else has said, drug court does work if you work it, and I'm better for it. So I'd just like to say thank you to you guys, thank you to the whole team, thank you, Judge, for welcoming me to this county, and I just want to have a better life, and this is the first step. So thank you.
Okay, next we have Luis Nunez. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, he did? Okay, so we'll go with Melissa C.
Okay. I'm a little nervous. So I did start on a long journey. I'm from Monmouth County, and I didn't know what drug court was. I didn't know what jail was. I had no idea. I'm not privileged by any means. I'm not, I did go on my journey and through different things. I have 4 children. I lost custody of 3 of them, and I have custody of my youngest, who is 2. And, through this process, I learned that I will not lose another child to the system for me wanting to get high or whatever the case may be, to allowing another man in my life to just have control over everything I do. I have grown a lot in this process, and I just want to say thank you to the judge for giving me a chance. Passaic County is a lot different from Monmouth County, but I've learned a lot up here, and it's kept me strong, and it's opened my eyes to a lot. I try to help a lot of people out here because I feel bad. I have a lot of guilt. I know what it's like to be homeless, to live in cars, to live on streets, to not take a shower, to not eat for days. I know what it's like, and I try to give back to whoever, whenever I can. And, I do want to be in the recovery part as I grow on in this business system, whatever, my recovery, whatever it is. But I just want to say thank you to everybody for everything.
Congratulations, Melissa. Yes, yes. Sounds like a candidate for a recovery coach, Sheila. Okay, Officer Wonk, is Mr. Nunez back? Okay, Luis Nunez.
I want to start off giving thanks to the Lord, for giving me this chance to be here. My wife, my daughter, I wish she was here. Della Carrera, because he did give me a second opportunity because the prosecutor denied me 3 times. So he saw my family in the back of me crying, and he was like, yeah, I'm going to give you this chance because I see your family. You look like a good kid. I want to give you this opportunity. Drug court do work. It do. If you try, if you really want to get it done, it worked. Because in the beginning, he was ready to terminate me. I kept getting in trouble. Ms. Wonk was telling me, you got to get your act together. And they took away my EMT license in the beginning. I got that back, thank God, And I've been working with the EMT, taking care of my wife, my daughter, and I'm thankful to be here. I am. We all deserve it. Y'all all deserve it, It's a beautiful thing to be here. It's a blessing. Thank you.
Here you go, Luis. Okay, Officer Wonk, do you have anyone else? Okay. So with that being said, audio. We're gonna stand. Thank you so much. For those of you who may be watching, we play Rocky every time a participant changes a phase, so only fitting here. Judge, I'm going to give it to you for any closing remarks.
I have too many here, so I'm going to try to figure out how to shorten it. But again, I want to congratulate everybody here for all the hard work they've done to get here. Another round of applause for them, please. And for those who aren't here but graduated recently. As some of you know, I'm in my second stint in recovery court. When I first came on the bench 20 years ago, I was doing recovery court with a trial calendar. It was a much smaller recovery court then. We graduated maybe 7 people a year. Now doing these twice a year with as many as 40 today. We've had even larger ones once or twice. And for me, frankly, it's a privilege. I get to see the way people turn their lives around, reconnect with their families, get jobs, get promotions, start their own businesses. It's for me actually quite enjoyable. Getting their driver's licenses, not to mention some GEDs and the like. I've had the remarkable experience of seeing people who were chiefly connected to drugs through distribution thereof and moderate cannabis use disorder. As people know, I take an open door approach. There are many recovery courts which wouldn't let people with that profile in, but I've seen many of them succeed and turn their lives around and get real jobs, start real businesses, and the like, and that's worthwhile in every way. So, and I've seen people with that profile apologize in a general way for people who've been victimized by making their money off the backs of people suffering through addiction, and turned it around altogether. I want to encourage everybody who's graduating today to express your gratitude, but I want you to also feel a sense of duty to give back, to share. The pandemic has delayed our plans for a real alumni group, but that is back on the board again now. And all of you are walking billboards for what can happen through recovery court. And I hope that you're going to share by giving back one way or another, whether it's through service in your community or sponsoring someone or working through the alumni group. There's a great deal of good that you can do as ambassadors for recovery court. And by the way, just a couple of stats for those of you. There are more than 7,000 people now who have graduated from recovery court in New Jersey, more than 600 from this county alone. And it's not a small thing. This is the elite. Only about 10% of the people who come into recovery court graduate, but about 70% complete it. That means they've been probationers, they've gone through treatment, they've gone through the whole process and finished, even if they didn't graduate. But almost all of those people would have been in prison otherwise. It makes a huge, huge difference. So I wish all of you the best. Again, think of this as the way they do in high school and college. This is a commencement. You've graduated from here. You're commencing the next stage of your life. You're doing it in a sober manner, in recovery. I hope that you all continue on that journey and give back to others who can be inspired by you. Congratulations.
I'm kidding.
Okay. Congratulations. We're done. All right.